Welcome back, everybody, to our Big Brother podcast. I'm here with the fan guy Megan Days, but we got Alex joining us this week. How's it going, Alex?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
It's living the dream, I guess. How are you feeling about this season so far, Alex? I know you just started binging Big Brother Canada not too long ago.
Yeah, so quick story. I mean, I really didn't watch Big Brother until like maybe a month ago. So I started with BB Can 2, and then I went right to 5, and then now I'm here at 9. And I gotta say, I mean, right now I'm also watching the feeds for the first time too. So my experience is much different, but I would say that this is pretty juicy so far. Like pretty good season with a really solid cast so far. No duds anymore. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm about to rip the cast a new one, but
Did Sarah win one of those seasons you watched?
who?
You said what?
Which season did Sarah win?
That's not. I didn't watch that. I don't know who Sarah is.
I was just curious because
Way to spoil it.
no,
Right.
no.
Well, I'm not. I don't know if I'm going back to all of the seasons. I just watched. So I watched the season where Netta and the other guy, that guy won, right? And then season 5, I watched Netta go get like blindsided, and then Kevin won. So that's really it.
Have you watched any of the American versions?
I think I turned on one episode and I was like, not interested. Like I just think the cast, I just can't vibe with it. You know, like this season of BB Can 9, like it's so different the vibe already. So I'm just like, I don't know if I can do a BB USA. Like we'll see. But I also did Celebrity BB UK. So Big Brother United Kingdom, and that was the one with Trisha Paytas, and it was a mess. It was a mess. The whole thing's a mess. So only BB Canada is the one I like, if anything.
If you watch a US season, don't watch anything after season 12. Just stick with the
Aren't you guys on like season 22, 3?
23.
23.
yeah.
And if I'm
It's a
on,
bunch of-
you will watch.
Did you apply?
Mhm.
Okay, if you're in it, I'm definitely watching it for sure, 100%. I want to see Mafia, Mafia Meg. Well, I don't even know what your name was, but I want to see that in action.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, today we'll be doing power rankings rather than recap the episodes because I have issues with the episodes. I don't feel like repeating myself. If you watch my fucking live feed shit, you know. So, I gotta say, we had some similarities, but well, we'll just say that the bottom two, it's very close who's at the bottom. And also some of us graded harshly, May graded way too nicely compared to the rest of us.
Call him
She
out.
did that last time.
The
too.
episode watcher, and I think that's why she's watching.
Yeah, I don't watch the live feeds, nor do I watch your live feed recaps. So I'm only watching what's on the episodes.
It is fairly different. Like the narrative
I think
is
it's
fairly
way
different.
different.
Well,
It's very
and
interesting.
I was going to listen to your live feed recaps, but then I started thinking that it would be interesting to see how the opinions differ.
It would.
If
Yeah.
I don't watch any of the live feeds or keep up with what's going on that. So I'm going to continue
Keep
to
doing it.
just watch the episodes and see how my opinion is different than what you guys are seeing.
For sure.
I crammed 18 days worth of live feed updates into 2 days. So I
You
could get
watched
caught
all
up.
of it, or like you like?
No. I read up on everything.
Oh my god! Are you what do you use? Because I'm on Reddit. I use Reddit.
Yeah, I went through Reddit. I can't even remember the user's name. I think it's Big Brother Rocks or something like that. But he gives live feed updates each day. And it got me caught up to the point where I can at least understand what the mindset as far as gameplay goes. Although they're all playing horribly. They are playing. They're all playing, but they're playing bad.
But they're like they can't keep their mouth shut. I feel
No, they
like
can't.
that's the problem. And it doesn't seem that way on the episodes. Like it just feels like they have their own plans going. But like in reality, they all changed their plans because of how much shit has been going. You know what I'm saying? It's a very interesting like perspective to take in when you're watching the feeds.
Yeah, that's why I had to get caught up because, like Nick said, the episodes were
It's different. It's different.
Show you
I'm
nothing.
not gonna say it's bad though. I don't mind it. I just think that it's definitely a different version of what the show is actually going in, you know? And I feel like casual watchers will appreciate the episodes more than because the feeds are all over the place. Like you literally don't know what's going on, honestly. Like you can guess, but it's just like everyone changes their minds. Everyone's nuts, like they're all insane. I'm going nuts just watching it. So yeah.
The episodes, though, you do get to see the diary rooms and sessions, so you at least get an opportunity to see if what you're watching on the feeds is them lying or telling the truth, kind of.
Exactly. Because like if they're in front of people, they're not going to say exactly what they're feeling, right? So it is good information to know on the episodes. But I also feel like they kind of have like a little more. I don't know if producers are doing this, but they'll feed information to the house guests to make them say things, right? Because I'm like, when I'm watching the episode, I'm like, I don't think you knew this like at all within the entire week of you being in the house, like Latoya or Jed. It's like I was like, you guys sound smarter than you are in real life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't.
I had a whole
don't,
conspiracy there. I was going to talk about it. It goes back to Meg having a
Oh, did I start it?
a couple of on the Challenge podcast, but I didn't really want to get into it. So I don't know if I should.
Okay.
Good, do it.
I mean, I've talked about it on the live feed updates, how some of these things are just, it's like they're almost scripted. Like even in the game. Feeds? Yes, I honestly think that this whole throuple comes off so scripted to me on the live feeds. That's one of the things. But then also this week, Kiefer's he told them that he was not the target many times. And yet they're still somehow blindsided by Thursday. It doesn't add up to me. None of this thing. As someone who's running these games and sees how people think, either these people are really, really the dumbest people, or they just are getting fed things. And
well, I feel like you spend every single moment together, right? So like obviously information, like I know Kiefer did say that to them, but after all of everyone else talking and like all the interactions, it's hard to keep track, and it's also like it's hard to really know who's telling the truth or not, So I feel like yes,
but I feel like their reactions aren't like even like real. Like Jed and Tashawn really aren't upset because I think they knew. I don't know either.
Well, Tashawn's a recruit, so maybe he's just an actor. I don't know.
I think they're all recruits.
They're not all recruits.
I think they're all recruits except for Julie and Victoria.
No, Kyle's a super fan. No?
Nah, maybe him too. I forget about
Kyle's a super douche.
Yes, that too. I hate his face. I don't like his face. I don't like the way his face operates.
All right, let's start this power ranking. At number 11, with a whopping 3.4, is Christmas Junior Tara.
Christmas Junior, really?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean, Christmas Junior?
It's another player from the past who's like super annoying, super negative, super an old Karen.
An old Karen? She's definitely not older than Karen.
No, I'm talking. She's a Karen, is what I'm saying.
Oh, she's a Karen. Okay.
I'm shocked that this person is last, though.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I had a dead last by a mile. I gave somebody a fucking 0.
I gave Tara a 0, so that's probably why she's
okay.
Slightly lower than
How did she get a 3.4 then? Because I gave her a 1.
I gave her like a 4 or 5.
Because May gave everybody like high grades.
You know how high you have to vote somebody?
This is the first time that we ranked, and I think we all rank differently with what we're ranking them on.
Yeah, I just want to say I ranked who I actually think at this point has a shot to win. That's why I gave her a 0.
Yeah,
I ranked on like position in the house right now.
I also kind of rank that way. I also think that Tara, like what her plan right now is to like get to the final with like Tina, and there's a chance she beats Tina. I mean, Tina has connections, but like she's also been floating a lot and like could easily be outed as like a floater and just be like on everyone's bad side. I don't know.
Listen, I hate Tina the most probably, but I think Tara is like I feel like nobody actually likes her. That's
no one really
like it. I don't even think Tina genuinely likes her. So I'm like, if Tara gets to the end, is she really ever gonna have the votes to win? I just don't see it.
See, I'm with you, Meg, because I don't watch the feeds. I watch Nick's. I do watch all of Nick's.
You just watch Nick's opinions on
I just watch Nick's opinions on the feed. and I watched the episodes. So I do think my ratings are probably gonna be closer to yours in terms of I don't see a lot of what Tara's doing that's rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
As much as I'm sure it's shown on the feeds based on what I hear Nick saying.
I mean,
What I've
I rated
noticed-
her a
Oh, yeah, what's your
7.5, and
Nice.
I gave her that because I felt like with the drama that I didn't give anybody less than a 4.5.
Wow.
So
And I
generous.
gave very few people higher than a 5.5. But
Yeah,
I only
I
had one person above a 7.
Oh, I didn't have anyone above 7.
10 numbers to work with. I mean, all right. Anyway,
Anyway.
I rated her that because these 3 episodes, I didn't really see her like, as far as what I see in the episodes, I didn't see her involved in a lot of drama. So she's not really high on anybody's hit list. She's not getting any blood on her hands. She's having conversations with people and just kind of skating by. She's still kind of playing and having strategy conversations, but she's not causing anything to happen as far as what I can see. Now, I don't watch the feeds again, and I don't listen to Nick's recaps because Nick hates every television show ever, and he's very negative about it all.
I mean, I just want to say I do Survivor, and I feel like I'm very positive on Survivor compared to everybody else.
You're super biased about your love for Survivor, though. Like, nothing can outrank Survivor for you.
It's because it's better
Survivor
produced
is a
than
great
these other
show.
shows.
It's better.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I'm a huge Survivor fan as well, but I view I don't compare the shows, I guess. They're
That makes
different
sense. That makes
entities to
sense.
me.
Well, what I was gonna say about Tara is that it's very interesting because she has a lot of DRs in the episodes. Like, she narrates a lot of like aspects of the Big Brother that she's not even part of. Like, I'm very surprised to see like her edit. Like, she's in a lot of the shows, than what's on the feeds, I would say. So like, I don't know if there's like a thing where the producers are like, okay, we like Tara or something.
Or maybe they like the way she narrates. Maybe.
Yeah, like she narrates, I guess, entertaining, like a very entertaining fashion. So they're giving him much more screen time, and she's not in the drama. So I could totally see where Meg's coming from in terms of her rating. I also agree that she is floating by pretty nicely, except for like I think Jed, Ty, and Beth. They do want that TNT group out. So that's the only problem. But like the other side, I mean, they might take them further, So I don't think your rating is too terrible. I don't think she's a 0, honestly. I don't think she's playing terribly.
She's a 0 because she's not going to win. That's why she's a 0.
You never know, dude. This cast and the way they vote for things, like you don't know what they're gonna do.
I mean, the only thing going for it is that it is a smaller jury this season. I think it would only be 7, but I still don't think she could get enough votes to win. But
I think
I gave her a 1, and the way I came up with my scores was kind of not necessarily whether they're going to win, but based on where they are in the house, whether I think they could win a competition if they needed to. And Tara is just, we talk about her being a floater. There's 2 types of floaters for me. There's the floater that goes back and forth with a purpose, and then there's just the furniture in the house. It's
right.
just there for people to use. And she's really only tied to Tina. She's not in any of the other alliances, and she's pretty much the scapegoat. Jedson, I think it was Jedson who told Kyle that Tara was the one to start the flip, and that was just using her as a scapegoat, that she's someone you can blame something on. She's not going to put up a fight because she's not trying to make any moves in the game. I don't see her winning. I don't see her winning any competitions, and she's perfectly fine with just sitting back and doing nothing. Like, why are you even on this show?
Okay, fair points.
I gave her a 4.
Middle of the pack. I think I gave her. What did I give her? I think it's close to Fan Guys. I gave her a 5, actually. Okay, so I agree with what Days just said. However, I think because of I just know that her mind is in the game. I feel like she is picking a spot to strike, and like she is looking forward to be HOH and to make a big move. So it's not like this is all like feed stuff that she's been saying, right? But the thing is, like, I think she knows her persona and she knows how she is perceived in the house. She's a small mother. Like, she's not going to be a remarkable player to anyone's eyes. You know what I'm saying? So like the fact that she is playing this way, and then she might strike when she.
Let's
I think you would have a better presence than her, though, Meg.
No. Okay, what I'm saying, I'm not saying the stereotype of her being a small figure like mother, right? I'm saying like her personality and the way she's perceived with the rest of the house. You know, have all those like prettier younger people, right? Like it's very like, I know how her mind is, and it seems like she's just not going to try to be this big persona to try to get people to respect her gameplay, right? So I'm thinking that she is waiting for a moment to strike in terms of getting people out, and then once the jury starts kicking in, like then she starts kicking into gear. Hopefully, I'm giving her much more benefit of the doubt than
I don't think that she has any kind of master plan though, and I don't really see her like striking or having any big moves. I honestly don't really even see her winning an HOH competition.
Right.
But
I don't see it either.
I don't think that she's in I think that she's in a better position than the house than some of the other people, which is why I rated her the way that I did.
Right. I don't know. I feel like she definitely does want to make moves. I don't know when. I don't know if she ever will, but I'm just looking out for it. You know, I agree with you. That's why I rated her a 5. I think she is in a great spot, especially with her relationship with Kiefer at the moment, and in this week. So that's just my opinion for now. I do definitely see her not winning much HOH if she ever does. If she gets put on the block, it's very hard to save her. You know, it's definitely more dangerous in her position. But
do you not see her as potentially being a perma pawn? Like that, if I was a player, that would be worst case scenario for me, because anytime you're on the block, you're at risk of going home. She's someone you can put on the block and not have to worry about her winning HOH and taking a shot back at you, and
or have to worry about her being that mad at you.
Yeah.
It's just that, to me, that feels like a bad spot to be in. If everybody's comfortable enough to just put you up there to be a placeholder, I mean, there's a chance you could go home. You never know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been talking about like, oh, we could put Tara up, right? But she hasn't actually gone to the block yet. But I definitely do hear like conversation of her like easily being put on the block. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. I feel like, especially the way they're playing, like she's aligned herself with Tina, and I feel like Tina has more connections. So when people want to take a shot at TNT, it's gonna be Tina before Tara. That's why I feel like she does have a better shot going farther into the
I don't
game.
know if I agree that she has less
You don't?
connections than Tina. I feel like Tina gave up her connections, and now Tara has more connections than her.
I don't know.
Tara's just so much more unlikable than Tina, though. I mean, for me, it's like not even close. One of them is extremely likable, although not as likable as I thought she was in Tina. And then you have Tara, who is just completely unlikable.
I even changed my Reddit flare off of Tara.
So, what?
Yeah, my opinion on her completely changed. I had to switch it up.
You think she's unlikable?
It's because of the feeds. It's not because of the episodes. I don't see anything in the episodes that I think it's unlikable.
I have really high hopes for seeing another like mother play Big Brother.
I did too. I liked Tina and Tara in the beginning.
You got to see Christmas play.
She wasn't a mother the first time.
Second time.
True.
Any other thoughts on Tara?
I can see both ways. We'll see what happens with her. I don't think she deserves bottom tier, but
well, in 10th, it was close. She had a 3.4. In 10th place with about a 3.5 average is Victoria.
Really?
Wow.
What is going on with y'all?
That's who Fan Guy gave a 0 to. And I agree that she has another.
You said 3.5?
Like if Tara or Victoria is going to win, they're going to have to be against each other in the end for one of them to win.
Okay, listen. Yes, that is also true. I don't know. I don't know if I know like Meg has only seen the episode. So what is your perception of Victoria since this whole past week?
Mine.
Yeah, I want to know how you feel.
I honestly thought that she had balls, and I thought it was cool that she went after,
Yeah.
Arguably one of the strongest people in the house and got her out.
Yeah.
I think Latoya was behind a lot of stuff in the house as far as what I see. Fangar's over there shaking his head. But from my just straight viewing the episode's point of view, Latoya was running a bunch of the shit. She was the lead of her pack of that big person six alliance. She was me.
No, she was not you though. See, that's the
No,
problem
you're more
with this
dead
perception. Yeah, this is. Go ahead, Fan. I want to hear Fan Guy's point.
But this is what's interesting though, is that I don't watch the live feeds.
Yeah,
and
that's why I asked for her
like.
opinion.
I don't either.
Don't
And
interject, Meg. Nick. I'm kidding.
I don't watch the live feeds either, and this was my 0.
Well, you watched Nick's
Why,
reaction.
though?
Nick, I don't know.
Okay.
She made a big
my-
move, and then she made an even ballsier move by going and being like, if you take her down, I'm putting up your number one. So what are you going to do? I've backed you in the corner. And they had to do what she did or what she said.
Had nothing to do with Nick's assessment.
Okay, so what's your assessment then?
This human being is easily the most annoying human being on the planet. First of all, there's nothing spicy about her.
She's pretty spicy.
She should be called Annoying V, not Spicy V. I've said that from the moment I saw her in our initial cast assessment.
So did I.
So this human being is, first of all,
I'm dead right now. Holy shit.
is the only Big Brother player, and I've seen every single season of Big Brother, US,
God.
Canada, and UK. So she is my least favorite player of all time, other than Jackson.
All
and
time?
Mickey.
Wow.
She's number 2, only ahead of Jackson Mickey. That is the only player that I dislike more than
Because she's annoying?
Victoria. Jackson was not annoying. Jackson was just an absolute piece of shit.
She's also a piece of shit. Not gonna lie.
Victoria, yeah, okay. My problem with Victoria is like 100-fold. It's that she thinks she's playing so good and so smart, but like she's not. She's telling lies to people. She's
She's playing sloppy. I can give you that.
the good word.
It's definitely playing
just
sloppy. Yeah.
It's sloppy, and I mean, I don't like the direction she went last week. I disagree with you, Meg, in terms of her threat to put Tishon up. I don't think that was a good move. I think it was a good move to her end goal, which I think was a terrible end goal for
But
this.
here's what I see. She's so far been kind of a comp beast. She's been good at the competitions, better than most of the other ones.
Facts.
She has made good relationships.
One was a crapshoot.
People are telling her.
I don't feel like anybody likes her in the house. I don't feel like anybody likes her.
Okay.
Based on what-
That annoying.
Her alleged alliance, and I said on my live feeds, oh, she's with the oddballs. No, it's Carb, and they already threw her under the bus. So she made all these moves.
They should be named Bart.
Just to be in the bottom of everybody. So Victoria, maybe it was ballsy.
Okay, here's my opinion, because I kind of do feel strongly about what Victoria did this week. It's because I've only watched 3 seasons. I don't know dynamics in terms of how to get further or what's the sloppy game or not. I mean, she is playing sloppy, but I wouldn't know how to tell you how, like exactly. But the thing is with Victoria is she started this game with no attention, in the sense of like, she's expendable. She's on the bottom of any alliance if she ever was in any. Like, remember with the Sunsetters, she tried, none of them wanted to, right? So she was never.
That's a false equivalency, because Latoya actually did try. She was just jealous of Latoya's
still. You don't think she's still on the bottom of everything?
No. Okay, so hear me out. So she was never really like a player to anyone's eyes, even though she won the first comp, right? Sort of thing, right? She was just not someone that anyone looked at, right? Now with this whole crazy like plan to get Latoya out and then standing her ground between 4 people like in her room, right? She has now solidified herself as this crazy like chaotic bitch that will do anything to get anyone out, to make big moves. She has a reputation, so that's one. And whether or not people want her out, that's fine. But Kiefer doesn't want her out because he knows she's alone and he knows he's alone, sort of, right? So he's definitely keeping her this week. And the thing is, he also said to other people, he was like, Victoria, I'll keep her around to make some big moves and then kick her out. But when someone is being kept for multiple weeks, they have a chance to win comps and then take other people out too. So in my opinion, if Vic gets to the end, everyone's gonna hate her, but they're gonna be like, she's done shit to win. So the thing is, like, for me, if she was someone who was in a position,
Look at the source of this information, though.
You
She's
said what?
Josh. She's Josh Martinez. That's who she is. She bangs
is
on
not.
pots. Yes, she is. She is that annoying, and the only way she wins at the end of this game is if the person she's sitting next to is so unlikable the way Paul was that she can win. That's
okay. But I think that most people are playing sloppy. So
Yeah,
I don't
everyone's
think that
playing
she's,
sloppy.
like playing.
There's not one person that's not playing
sloppier
sloppy.
than other people. I
but
think
they're
they're
not all the most annoying human being on the planet.
But are they
regardless
both
of
for the
that
most
fact, though, it's about her gameplay, like whether or not
does
you
Big
like
Brother
her
vote for the most
personality.
likable player?
Lately.
Nope.
Like, if she's up against Ty, then probably not, right? But like, I think if she makes it to the end, like, she has a solid chance to like prove that she made it there with a lot of work. Like, she's a huge target right now, and yet she's not even considered to be on the block because Kiefer thinks she's useful. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's just by Kiefer.
Maybe it wasn't a good move for her to do the
Kiefer and Victoria are winning back to back over and over. I mean, honestly, like they're really good at competitions, and Austin. So like, who's to say that they're not going to keep going back and forth and then just dominate? Like, it's not.
I mean,
I don't know.
Victoria is like Josh to the extent, and I know you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's
But
okay.
This guy was drug along simply because people were like, we can get him out whenever the fuck we want. Because
Okay.
he's so unlikable and such a fucking joke.
What happened to him?
And that's how I perceive Vic. Annoying V.
she is annoying.
She is annoying.
Well, Josh
And
did
maybe
win.
it wasn't the best
Josh
move
won?
to corner. Yeah, Josh won.
So what is this? How is this an argument?
But see, I actually see her more like Paul than I see her like Josh in this scenario, because I think if she makes the end, she has to sell her game so well, something Paul did not do. Paul did not talk about all his lies out in his game because he was lying throughout that whole game.
she will talk her lies. You know,
I don't know if she has to
Yes,
own
she
them. She
will.
has to own them though, and she just lies just
I
to
think
lie.
she will own them. Not gonna lie. I think she knows that she's lying. Obviously, she's lying every second of the day. Like, if you're watching the feed, she's lying like constantly.
That's why I think it's I don't know. It's just too early for all these lies.
I just think that regardless of if you thought it was a good move for her
lied
to
way
approach
early.
Ben
Sorry,
and Ty
go on.
like that about the veto,
Yeah,
it was a big move, and she
It
had
was.
the fucking balls and gusto to do it.
yeah.
Days,
has-
put the
Days,
hand out.
you're
What?
quiet. You say something.
What's up?
I forgot you were here.
So, so I rated her middle of the pack, 5.5. I
Four.
don't think
She's
she's
four.
great. I don't think she's bad. What Fan Guy said, I think, is wrong. She does not think she's playing a great game. She
Yeah.
actually said she's playing a very messy game.
Yeah.
As of
No, wait. Sorry, Dave. Because on the
But-
feed,
but- I have the speaking pin.
He has his
He
hand
had
up. He
strong
has his hand up.
HOH itis.
She
So
did.
she thought she was like, "I'm going to be the best player in BB Can history." She literally said that
Episodes-
multiple times.
On the episodes that aren't the feeds, all she does is talk about how she's playing Big Brother. And I'm like, yeah, you're playing bad.
Okay. I have to admit, those episodes are much
everyone
more
is
cocky
playing
than the actual feed,
badly.
in my opinion.
Anyway, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
So again, everybody is playing except for Tara very badly, but they are playing. She's playing very badly, but she is playing, and she's made arguably the strongest move so far, which is
Yeah.
taking out Tara, or not Tara, taking out
Yeah.
Latoya, and Ty, Jed, and Beth are not targeting her, even though she took out one of their people. They're targeting floaters, i.e. Tina and Tara.
Because Victoria has no spot in any alliance. Like, I think she was pretty aware of what she did. I mean,
Right.
you have to admit, it was very emotional, her move to get Victoria.
To me, she is starting to become a low-key villain
Yeah.
in this game, and I'm liking it. She knows she's playing messy, and she's making underhanded moves and she's lying to folks. And listening to some of her conversations, especially with like Ty, she can explain things really well. And I do think that she would own these moves at the end because she does have a big ego. You know, I mentioned in the YouTube comments for Nick that I think that her background may be why she's a dark horse to win this game, because she's grown up living in different homes. She's always had to fight.
She can adapt. She can. Yep.
That's probably where my like inner love for her comes from, though, is because that's the industry and that I work in. So I feel like I understand her and I understand where she comes from and why she is the way that she is, and probably why she is kind of annoying. Like,
yeah. I know foster kids that aren't the most annoying people on the planet.
I know a lot of foster kids.
I know,
very much the most annoying people on the planet. So I can definitely argue that. Like,
but
I agree. I, for once, agree with Days.
Me too.
We are lining up here. I didn't rate her that high. I gave her a 6.5, which apparently is very high compared to how you all graded, but it was lower of my grades.
Yeah.
It was on the lower side of what I graded people, but it's still, I just feel like I like to see people play the game. And I think that I thought it was amazing. She got LaToya out. I viewed LaToya as a very strong player to win. And whether or not she did it in the best manner, she got LaToya out of the house. She accomplished her goal. She's winning competitions.
Not only that, she lied to Jed, Beth, and Ty and somehow made them believe, not that that's a big move because they're kind of stupid, but all three of them, although they did speak about like, is it going to be LaToya? They like trusted her that it's going to be a unanimous Kiefer vote when the entire week it was already 6-3. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree with that. I mean, Jed couldn't have taken her down. He is not going to put Tyshawn in danger. Those two are final two. There was no way he was able to take LaToya down with Ty.
Well, he was going to do it until Victoria like stood her ground and like yelled at them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will say also the production had a hand in that because they called the fucking veto ceremony a day early. So.
Yeah.
Nick, I do want to agree with what you said, though, that she is a Paul. It's going to be very, very difficult for her to win at the end unless she is able to explain every move she made in detail and take ownership of it. But then again, I don't doubt it because I think her ego is through the roof. And I think she might be able to do it. I don't think she's going to shy away from it like she's this nice person like Paul did, who was a complete scumbag.
Nobody cares about Vic. Nobody cares about her. Y'all all just said it. Y'all are all like, she did all this and no one's still targeting her. That to me says everything about her. And not in a good way, though. Y'all are all like, oh, that's a good. No, it's not a good thing. Nobody cares about her. Nobody gives a fuck. Therefore, they are all thinking we can just get her out whenever we want.
They're not targeting her.
They are
right now because
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if she continues to fly under there until they're like, okay, let's get rid of her then, and then they can't do it anymore because she has slowly gotten enough votes to stay. You know what I'm saying?
She has no.
We all thought the same thing about Alex when we played Survivor. When we played online survival with Alex, his name came up. Every time we were eliminating, but it was always a conversation of, well, we'll get him next time. We'll get him next time. And then he won.
But to that same thing, Alex almost lost by 1 vote to DD.
That's also true, but I'm also pissed off a lot.
This is my last point on this because we got to move on. I just feel like Victoria not only has to like admit to all of her game and her lying, but she has to do it well. And judging by her DRs, which are the worst on the show, I don't see it happening.
She's the most cringy on the for sure.
I called Alex the dark horse. I'm calling Victoria the dark horse.
I mean, she's definitely a dark horse, but I don't.
Definitely is a dark horse. I'm not arguing.
We got to move on to number 9, which is Beth with a 4.06.
Yes, that's my lowest one. Finally,
with a 4 point what?
4.06.
Oh,
I probably had her on the high side then. Because
wow,
I gave her a 5, and I don't have a whole lot of people above a 4.
I'm gonna start this one because I can't stand her. She's annoying, and she lies every single day, every minute, every second. She's just a horrible
Literally.
person to be around. I think it was this latest episode where the Tina Beth conversation where Tina kept looking at the camera like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? She just no idea what she's doing. She's trying to play too many sides. Although I think I mentioned it last week, she's kind of reminding me of an Allison Irwin from season 4 of BB, where she uses the flirt game to get to the end, but we know Allison didn't win. So I don't think it's going to work out for her. She's annoying. Can't stand her.
You liked her. You liked her at the beginning of the season too.
I liked her too. And
I was the
I
only
like
one who
her.
was anti-Beth. I just want to say at the beginning of the season.
I like her because she likes horseshit, and hey, that is pretty much it.
I gave her a little, like, I gave her the lowest score, which is a 2. I didn't give anyone lower than that. But I didn't give anyone higher than like a 7, I think. So for her, I just think that everyone talking about like the way Victoria is, I feel like it's the same exact argument for Beth. Like Fan Guy's argument for Victoria is how I feel about Beth. Because one, no one cares about her, even Jen and Ty right now, because of how the lies are being spread. She's not untouchable for Jen and Ty. Not one single person likes her. Like Victoria, no one really cares about her. They have a little bit of dislike, maybe, but Beth, like everyone hates. Like there's not one person that likes her in this house. And she is going to be someone who, like, they'll be like, okay, now it's time for you to go, and she will go. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's someone that I see that unless she wins HOH and does something else crazy, like, I don't know what the perception could change about her, but I don't see her winning, and I don't see her getting far. So that's why she's the lowest for me. I think she has 0 chance of winning this game. That's it.
I don't like her either, for the record. I actually do agree with a lot of what you just said. She is like Victoria. I just find Victoria infinite.
I mean, Victoria is much more annoying or louder, maybe, but I think Victoria's head is a little more in this game than Beth is. Beth thinks she has people on her side and she does not. And yeah.
Beth is oblivious.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. She has the worst read. The constant worst reads on the house.
The worst reads. Her and Jed is like, if you watch the feeds, like I'm jumping ahead, but like Jed will repeat something and it's completely not what the person said. Like he has a hearing issue, I think. I don't know what's going on, but he'll be like, are you saying this? And they're like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Like, I don't know what's his problem, but he can't understand things. Like, I don't know. But he's not stupid either. He's pretty smart. It's just socially, I'm like, you're not listening. Like, you're at all. So
the crosswords.
He's good at crosswords. He is.
That crossword was so easy.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone was hyping that to be hard. Like everyone's like messing up.
I would have fucked that up. That was low.
Well, yeah, it might have been the blank spaces might have been a problem, but the words itself were pretty easy, and I only watched like 2 seasons of it.
I do think what these bottom 3 that we have in common here is that they just have the worst social game, that there's just many people that either dislike them or want them out, one or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that gives us number 8, Kyle, with a 4.4. Ben Guy, want to go first?
I mean, sure, why not? I gave him a 4, which is actually, I thought, pretty generous for I had to leave my personal dislike of this cat out of his rating because I don't think he's in, well, given who's HOH right now and the way I understand the targeting system for this current HOH, I actually think Kyle could be in a lot of danger this week. But I do think that if he finds a way where him and Rohan get past this week, they actually have a reasonable shot to run pretty deep. So I didn't just want to obliterate Kyle with my score, even though I do find him just as I don't like, but maybe 2 or 3 people on this cast. They are all absolutely dislikable people for me, except for the guy who's really nice and awesome. He's pretty likable.
He is actually pretty nice, though.
I know. I'm not even saying that in jest. I'm actually saying that, like, if you had watched our cast assessment,
what happened?
It's wild that the 2 guys that I like the most are the two stud muffin 6-packed up rip dudes. Those are actually the two most likable
They
people.
are
in
the
that.
most likable people though in the cast, like
I don't know
100%.
about Jed.
Not Jed, but like
Well, the I think the three most likable and most interesting people already went
Yes.
home, unfortunately.
Yes, those
The
three were my
dramatic
favorites.
people.
Except for Latoya, this last week was so bad for her. Like public perception.
I mean, I don't think she had a chance.
No,
Any
but no,
type of
it
black
wasn't just
woman
that. It
is
was
up on
like
Big Brother.
it was-
No, any type of black woman is up on Big Brother or nominated on the block. They don't really have a
No,
fighting chance.
it's not about
As you noticed, the only
gameplay.
people
I'm
that
saying
voted for them to stay were the
comments
two other black people.
and her like the way her attitude is sometimes, and in that last week was just like awful. Like that last week, she just did not behave.
I did say in our assessment
I
that
don't
the
disagree.
authoritarianism
Yeah,
of her
it's
being a cop
it's
was
the
going to
cop
show
in her.
itself.
It's the cop in her.
and
It was
did.
showing. She was not taking
She
bullshit.
was very controlling.
I
She like
disagree
she kept
with
making
this.
comments about people's like bodies. That it was the whole last week. It was just the last week was messy for her. She just said some weird things. But also people always like to villainize black women. So like that was another thing that was happening. Like people were just like hyping it, you know. But
Yeah, they were
yeah,
calling
she
her
wasn't
aggressive when she was only aggressive one time to stick up for
aggressive.
Kiefer.
She in her position makes so much sense for her to stick up for Kiefer. Like it no one else would do it, you know, like just because everyone else was like Tara and Tina just standing there doesn't mean that they were in the right, you know what I'm saying? Like I think Latoya made the right decision to say something to Kyle and Rohan. Yeah.
And this must be this. There's a huge difference between what I saw Kyle and Rohan do compared to what I've seen U.S. players do. Like huge difference. I've seen so much worse. I do think that they.
US or in Canada?
U.S. is bad.
Oh, I mean,
bad.
it makes sense. It makes sense. Like it just makes sense.
I do think Kiefer kind of played it up a little bit in that whole situation, 100%. But back to Kyle anyway. I mean, he's middle of the road for me. I do think that him and Rohan are in a bad situation this week, but I think Nick, you said it in your recap that if they can make it past this week, they've got a good shot. They're just not doing, either of them doing what I thought they would, that they had the potential to do. I think they just got kind of stuck in a bad situation. I voted Kyle a 5. I mean, if he survives this week, I don't think he will. I mean, he has a chance, but it's not looking good.
The middle of the road situation here. I think so. I gave Kyle a 2, but it's not because like that he has no chance of winning. I just don't think he'll have a chance to even get there. So like the way he's playing right now, it's very like him and Rohan are just a tight pact. He's clearly likable with other people, but when you have that in the mix of being such a big player and a bigger guy, and having one person that's in your alliance and you're much more likable than him and have more connections, you're the first to go. So it's like, even if he survives this one, and if Rohan goes, maybe he might go all the way, like get closer.
Are they on the block?
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think last I saw, Kiefer put them on the block. Like he's planning to at least.
Do you think if they're still there at the end of the week, do you think Kyle goes over Rohan?
Yeah.
I just because they've been trying to get Rohan out for the past 2 weeks.
Well, it's
kind of.
It seems like Kiefer at the moment wants Rohan gone, because I think he trusts Kyle more, and I think other people in the oddballs are trusting Kyle more. But I feel like there could be a easy flip because he is likable, and he's, you know, Rohan would be much more less of a threat in that situation. Because if Kyle stays, he still has Austin and Brayden, and he still has he just has more connections. I don't know, but I just don't see them. They're not playing well either. They are playing, but they're not playing as well as they should have, especially with that Kiefer interaction. That was just stupid.
Kyle has 0 redeeming qualities.
Yeah,
I gave him a 4.5, which is I gave him and Rohan both a 4.5, which were my lowest scores.
Yeah, he's my lowest 2 besides Beth. They're both 2 for me.
We can include Rohan because he's next. He's number 7. He's
next.
4.5. So
but I think you should just like discount my scoring. I'm just not.
I gave them the same ranking.
They
are the same player.
I gave them both a 4.
I think Rohan could potentially get further. I don't know. But he doesn't have connections, so I don't know. We'll see.
Rohan's more likable to me.
He is.
But I don't know if the rest of the house feels that way. But like, if I could go have coffee with one of these two guys, it'd be a no-brainer.
Although I don't like the way, I know you didn't see the feeds. I don't like the way Rohan like explains himself after fights. So like, so after the whole fight with Kiefer, everyone was starting to do like apology tours, and Rohan did go up to Kiefer and try to talk things out. That was just, it was so cringy to watch.
My understanding is that Rohan was close with Josh in like the first week of the game. Wondering if that's kind of the reason why he's so low down, why he was kind of a target.
Was he? I didn't know that. I didn't watch the feeds until
he was part of the Pretty Boys that Josh was a part of before he decided to tell they were the Pretty Boys Alliance again.
Wait, Josh was a part of it? I did not even know that. That's interesting. Oh, that's awkward.
They didn't talk to him for a day, so he turned on him basically.
And
Josh blew up for no reason.
Is this an alliance? I just need clarification on this. Rohan, Kyle, Tina, and Tara.
They're loosely a thing. They were mostly a thing because of this last week with Latoya, right? But other than that, I know for a fact that
they brought them into the oddballs basically.
But they were never a part. Like the original oddballs, if there was one, it was the 5 of them: Bray, Austin, Victoria, Kyle, and Ro. And then they brought in Tara and Tina. And if anything, Tara and Tina trust Kyle more, apparently. That's what they say, but I don't know if that's true either.
So is Victoria not really aligned with Rohan and Kyle?
That's also tricky because they weren't previously from Latoya, like that week of Latoya, they weren't really aligned, but now they kind of are. And also now kind of not again because of Kiefer being HOH. So it's like they're like working partners, right? For like a week.
There's just so many alliances like all over the place. It's really hard to keep up with. And there's a lot of like names being thrown out, like
Sunsetters,
like side alliances. It's so weird.
This season's a lot about pairs. Like it's literally just pairs, and then Victoria and Kiefer right now. I don't understand it, honestly. I don't know where that strategy is beneficial, but
I just find it weird that Tina and Tara, Tina more than Tara, but was complaining about being on the bottom of the Sunsetters, but then they jump on the bottom of the other side.
I think that's a very, very true thing.
I'll get to Tina.
Yeah, I don't know. Very confusing. I think they might just want to choose to. I don't know. Nick has his own opinions on where Tina and like why Tina and Tara are like that, but I don't know if I agree or believe it.
We'll do number 6 next, which is Kiefer with a 5.3.
Wow.
Kiefer is what is it, 7 or 8?
6.
6. You guys think he's in the middle of the pack?
I rated him high.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, I guess it depends on how his HOH goes, but he's sitting pretty to me. I gave him a 6, which is the second highest. So I don't know.
What was the average?
5.3.
Okay.
I gave him an 8.3, which was my second highest.
Yeah, nice.
But I feel like if you just like took all of mine down each like 3 or 4 points, I'm kind of on par with where you guys are at.
Yeah, honestly. High. Exactly.
I think Days had him low.
I gave him a 2. He's kind of in the same reasoning with Tara, where he's potentially a forever pawn. If they need somebody to throw up, they can put him up there, but along with that is the risk of potentially going home. If he wouldn't have won HOH, I think that he might have just been right up on the block again, because he's easy to use as a placeholder to get out a target, to backdoor a target. And he's just completely lost. He has no idea what he's doing. His morals are conflicting with his ability to play the game. And that's just not going to work in the big brother house. You can come in saying that you want to play this, holy game all you want. It's not going to get you very far. And I unfortunately don't see him lasting more than 2 or 3 weeks max.
I mean, I like to believe that kind of play will get you further. And he's a good forever pawn because he is playing these challenges and winning. He was the captain. He won HOH. What is this, his first HOH or second?
First HOH, but he won a POV.
Yeah, he won the POV. So he took himself down when he was nominated. And
I'm gonna almost 100% disagree with what Daze just said. And now I'm kind of forgetting what he said, but I'm pretty sure that after this week, I don't know if Kiefer is a forever pawn because of the dynamic shift. So for Latoya going home, now that there's Beth, Jet, and Ty, just sort of in that one corner, Kiefer is sort of that person that they won't put up anymore, at least at this moment, right? And then you also have Tara and Tina who are also wanting to work with him, and Victoria as well. And I just feel like at this point, he's solidified himself in the middle where he wouldn't be that forever pawn, because even if Austin and Brayden win, they're going to want to take out one of the bigger ones which is Jet or Ty, versus Kiefer. So it's I think he got himself out of this forever pawn situation. I mean, we'll never know. We'll have to see next week. But for me, the perception is he's not a forever pawn anymore because of where he's at and who he's aligned with himself with secretly and publicly. And then as for his morals, I really do think he's playing it up completely. The way he acted as if he was going home, even though the whole week Victoria already told him he's safe. I just think that he's playing his morals very, very, very well. Even Victoria believes that he is truly sorry. I think he wasn't sorry that he lied about Victoria at all. I think that he is completely capable of doing that. I think he's just playing this victim role because Kyle and Rohan kind of gave him that card. I might be giving him a lot more hype than he deserves, but I think he is doing really good moves so far to push himself in a different direction. But I don't know. He could also do something stupid this week. He could also do something really stupid. We never know. But so far, he's doing well. He put Kyle and Rohan. It's a really good move because publicly he's with the Sunsetters, but and
that
Kyle
don't
Rohan,
have the numbers.
What do you mean?
They don't need
Sunsetters don't have the numbers.
It doesn't matter. The thing is, Kyle and Rohan never had Kiefer in his best interest. The other three would take him further. He would be the fourth one, right? He would never have been Kyle and Rohan's fourth or anything higher than that. So it's good to take out Kyle and Rohan and to keep the Sunsetters happy, because in case they get HOH next week, no one's going after Kiefer next week. I don't believe that, especially with this Kyle and Rohan move. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
He's in a good spot, and I think he wins when he needs to win, and he's not afraid of playing a risky game, going to Victoria and being listen, if you don't put me up, it looks really bad for you.
Yeah, exactly.
He put himself in a really dangerous position, but I feel like he has a decent social game.
We'll see.
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better, yeah.
I mean, he made a lot of mistakes off top that I think
for sure
he's clawing his way out of that. This was, for me, this is still my favorite player in the game, the person I would get along with the best outside of a game environment. So I got a soft spot for him, and this was also, I gave him a 4, but this was the hardest. This was the person that I had to rewrite my email to Nick 3 times because his was the score I kept changing.
Okay.
And so I find it interesting that both what Dazed and Alex said, because I was kind of in line with both of your lines of thought, which is why I was going back and forth with where I had him. Because
what's the highest score that you gave?
I gave an 8. I gave 2 8s actually.
Okay.
A 7.
But this guy got a 4, and it could have been higher. I did have him as high as a 7. I had him, I think I went from a 5 to a 7 to a 4 because my brain was just bouncing all over. I could see the potential for either of what these guys said to happen, depending on how his HOH plays out this week. If he successfully gets rid of Kyle or Rohan, it will be very, very, very good for him.
It is. It will. Yeah.
Have they
And-
played Rio yet?
Set him up.
No, I think the noms just
The
happened.
noms haven't even. The noms haven't.
It's not official yet.
I think they
No.
just happened like an hour ago or something.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
really?
It's so late. Yeah.
Yeah, I had just looked at the
Oh.
my spoilers.
Who
Yeah.
would his replacement nom be if one of them came down?
Even wants it to be Austin.
Yeah, which is actually not a bad move for him.
That's
honestly.
not a bad move.
It's really not. And I think Austin actually would go home, which would be really shitty. But like,
I don't think so.
um,
It's official.
you don't think so? It's official? Yeah.
He nominated both of them.
Well, you don't think that Austin would go if it was her and Rohan, or no? Oh, no. Actually, yeah, you're right. Maybe not.
You can. I'm actually saying at this point, because he got them both on the block. In worst case scenarios, one of them comes down. One of those two is going this week.
I think so too. Actually, yeah. There's no one's really. Yeah, no one is aligned with them besides Austin and Braden, but they would have to choose anyway. You know,
Well,
and
like
if Austin goes up, then
it's
Braden's gonna choose Austin. Yeah. So it's like, it's like
all the people who are allied with them would vote for them over the replacement because
exactly.
they're harder with whoever the replacement.
And that's crazy because like that's all their fault. Like honestly, I mean, like they have a lot of they did a lot of weird things leading up to this moment. I've always thought their power was very flawed and very like temporary. You know, they would go down really really quickly and very fast. So we'll see what happens. But
My one issue is I had Kiefer higher than I wanted, but my one issue with his game is much like our bottom three of Tara, Victoria, and Beth, is that he does too much.
he does do a lot. He
Which I
lies
think
a
eventually
he
could
lies a
fuck
lot.
him.
yeah.
And I feel like that's an overall problem with this cast. They're all kind of doing a lot.
I mean, yeah, they do all do a lot, but I feel like there's certain
Except for
ones.
Braden. Braden doesn't do shit. Like in terms of like
That
messing
is-
with people. And
That
he's
is doing something though.
well, no, I'm saying like he's not doing something to piss people off, like in any sense. He might like people might slowly be like, okay, we need to get him out because he's too strong socially, but then he will have to pivot then. But right now he's like in no one's radar in terms of problematic or like annoying or someone who's a big threat. Like
Yeah.
even Austin's
I'll
a bigger
get to him
shield.
later.
Yeah, same.
Kiefer's just so much more likable than the people below him. Like he could
Yeah.
potentially win at the end on the likability factor,
True.
which people like Victoria, Tara,
Yeah.
they can't do.
The three of them, oh man, and Kyle, but Kyle
They're
is
not,
a little more
they're not going to
likable.
win this game because the jury goes, we like this person. Whereas I could see Kiefer in several scenarios in a final getting the vote because he's simply more likable than the person he's sitting next to.
He's also done much more in terms of like just anything, like any aspect. He's won more than anyone else. He's he's been a part of alliances more than anyone else. Like he's been a part of all the alliances at this point. And he's lied enough. Like he has enough on his resume already to win it.
Well, next up, I think our next two are a little too high, although they're barely higher than Kiefer. Number 5 is Tina with a 5.4.
Okay. I will say Tina, I had a lot of bigger expectations with Tina in the first 2 weeks, especially when she started aligning herself with Latoya. I was like, okay, like this could be a really good game for Tina to play. But then she like abandoned Latoya the minute shit hit the fan. Not that Latoya did anything really, like in the feed, she didn't do much to really plead her case, but I don't know. I don't know where Tina's head is at. I don't think she put herself in a better position than she would have been in if she stuck with the Sunsetters at this point. The downfall, like the big downfall that's happening right now, it's definitely like she's part of that, you know? So I don't know. And also, I don't know why she would align herself with Tara, even if she likes her as a person. Like, she's not a better player to align with, you know? But I don't know.
I rated her really high.
I mean, I still like Tina's gameplay, but it's definitely went lower for me. So what's your reasoning for Tina's?
I mean,
What would you give her
I
first
like-
of all?
Oh yeah,
I
what's
like-
the rating? What's the rating?
I
Please
give
tell
her
me
a
it's a 10.
9.
Okay. So 1 point from perfect. You're saying she's playing a 1 point from perfect game?
I mean, I don't really think about it like that. I'm just like,
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
like,
Oh man.
I don't know.
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
see it kind of as like a perfect, I don't know. But the reasoning is because I liked that she noticed where she was at in this big alliance and wanted to break away from that. And maybe it wasn't the best move, but I think you have to be self-aware of where you're at with the people that you're aligning yourself with. And I think she was in tune with that. I viewed her as
I
like
understand that.
the barrel on that alliance. So I think at the time, from what I see, she thought that she was making a smart move. She didn't want somebody like dictating what she had to do. I don't know. Maybe she didn't put herself in a better position, but
It's the TV. That's the TV narrative, and it's a wrong narrative. I feel like that's just trying to paint her as someone who's doing better when she's really just falling into this lazy gameplay. I talked about it on my live feed thing. I was doing it just to rise Van Guy's blood pressure, really, just to be a dick to say that the IG models are better than these older players. But Tina,
yikes! I don't know about that.
Oh, it's true. They're boring and terrible and Karens. But Tina is
Terrible.
She was like this. She was not at the bottom of that alliance. It's just a false narrative.
Okay, but perception-wise, yeah, kind of. She kind of felt like she was on the bottom.
She could feel that way. She was wrong, which makes her bad.
Well, the thing is, but she was like the 4th or 5th. If she wasn't the last, she was like the 2nd to last.
It's like everybody was in the middle. Everybody just saw the guys as the top of the. Yes, it is true because Tina and LaToya were close.
They were close,
and they were very close. They were one of the closest duos in the game.
Loyalties
was with Jen and Ty.
No, that's wrong because LaToya said herself on live feed several times that her number one was Tina.
I know
several times.
I don't fucking watch the live.
But the thing is, like LaToya's actions, she was hanging around with the other two a lot. It's hard for her to.
Because
truly perceive that
who shouldn't have been cast is really what it comes down to.
No,
okay, it's 100% true. Because these older players, I'm going to talk now, Alex. Sorry.
Okay.
These older players come on the show and they just fall into this caricature that they're meant to play. When instead, Tina could have been one of the players similar to like Karen from season 5, who won HOHs and put up guys to get out big guys out of the way. But instead, all the time we see players over 40 come in wanting to play from the bottom of an alliance because they will get dragged to a final 6. But then usually at final 6, like Kevin and BB19, who was dragged along by Paul, when their time is up, well, the old person's out now because they just play this lazy game from the bottom. But instead of Tina trying to actually develop something with a power position with LaToya, she just, and Kiefer for that matter, because those three were close in that alliance.
They were.
Now she's just playing from the bottom, and she's even below Tara right now.
That's my issue with it, is that she made a lateral to worse move. Like, okay, she realized she was self-aware, even if she was right, and she was at the bottom of the Sunsetters. She's not in a better position now. So I don't see how you can call it a good move when she literally took herself from one position to a worse position. Now, it doesn't matter if the first.
I'm not saying it was a good move. I'm saying that I liked her thought. I liked to see that. I feel like she's thinking about the game, whether or not it was a good move. And I don't know.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
I understand
on TV, it looks like a good move.
It does. On TV, it really does look like she's like understanding to jump ships. But
I don't watch the feeds, and it didn't look like a good move to me. Because again, for me, it really is as simple as she took herself from the bottom of one pile and threw herself on the bottom of another pile. And there's just no justification that anyone could say that's going to make me think that is in any way, shape, or form any sort of reasonable game move. It's
people like her, right? They're not like targeting her. They don't like look at her. I mean,
I know Ty was. If Ty won HOH, he would have been targeting her.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that, and then he said he wanted to put Tina and Tara up because he felt that they were distancing from them, which is exactly what you're saying. Like they jumped from a bottom to another bottom, and now they're being targeted. However, I mean,
why wouldn't you target like a Rohan and a Kyle? Like,
okay. So this is what happened in the feeds. Jed and Ty are very, very they're very naive. They're very like, I don't know. They're very hopeful and optimistic, and they're kind of cocky too a little bit. But they thought they could pitch a truce between Kyle Rohan and the two of them to create this like huge big guy alliance to be comp beasts and just like continue to go. First of all, they haven't won a single competition, so you're big, but you're not winning. So they wanted to pitch that, and
he
Kyle
won the
Rohan,
POV.
yeah, but Colin Rohan did not like. They kind of like entertained it, but they never was gonna do it. Which
Kiefer
at this
finally
point
got to them that Kyle and Rohan were targeting them.
Yeah. So I mean, Jen and Ty were ready to just they would have tried to kept that alive, which is so stupid because I don't know. It's not a bad idea. It's just like you gotta know who you're talking to, right? And I don't think Colin Rohan would have ever worked with them. Because they're also cocky. This cast is literally insane, and like you have to kind of like dive into each person's mindset to see where they're going and what they're doing, or else it doesn't make sense. Like me watching the live feeds, I'm just like, I don't understand why you're doing this. But if you like really go into their psyches, and it kind of makes sense. Like Victoria being kind of jealous about LaToya or jealous about anybody, Beth too. Then you understand why she's doing what she's doing. But if not, you're just like, why is she targeting LaToya? But yeah, I don't know. I still see Tina being able to come out of this alive. I think she's smart enough for it. I do agree that she's been making bad moves, but I wouldn't say she's the worst player in this game or she's like the least likely to win. I don't know. I still don't see that as a possibility. She's in the middle of the pack for me now.
I think she actually improved her position, and that's based on me believing that the Sunsetters no longer exist. I think they've started to crumble. Well, all that's left
I think
is
this week they're pretty strong again.
Yeah, they're pretty strong still.
Jed, Ty, and Beth. Kiefer is floating around, and then you have Tina that's floating around. LaToya is gone.
I wrote the same thing. The Sunsetters are. That's what the sun is setting on the Sunsetters.
Honestly, it's so ironic. It's so ironic. They're setting too.
I feel like she moved into a bit of a better position because, again, that was crumbling. So now she's in a spot where the only people that are really targeting her are Jed, Ty, and Beth, and they don't really have the numbers to do anything. I don't know why they're going after them other than them being floaters anyways. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's their gameplay.
I don't think she's in a bad spot. I don't think she's in a great spot. I think she's in the spot she needs to be to weather the storm that is about to happen. And if she can survive that, then she has a road to the end.
Agreed.
I also want to point out that she was cast as a certain type, much like Donnie was cast as kind of the Duck Dynasty thing. Handmaid's Tale is also a popular show, and she was cast to look like Aunt Lydia. Y'all can disagree with me all you want, but it's what happened. I gave her a 6.5.
Middle of the pack.
No, not really.
Oh, it's high. It's high for you.
She's number 3 on my list.
Okay.
But 6.5 isn't saying much. It's just a little bit better than middle of the pack. I think she has some room that she can move up, but I don't think she's in a bad spot.
Like, I think from her perspective, you know how like they try to flip-flop on Josh and he failed? Like after that, it was just like, I think Tina didn't want to be a part of a sinking ship that didn't want her opinion either. So it's like she'd rather be with a bunch of misfits that aren't concretely aligned yet to be part of this floater thing than to be part of that like be a part of publicly on that sinking ship, because she wasn't even like, no one knew that she was part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it made sense in that moment to be like, okay, well, I'm distancing myself completely and now moving on, even from LaToya. But like, I don't know what would have happened if she stuck with LaToya. Would it even work? Like, I guess she would stay for one more week, but then Tina and Tara would be like, you know, because Kyle and Rohan and Austin and Bray, they went to Tina and Tara to try to flip them anyway. So it's like, if they went with the Sunsetters, then they could easily become next targets. I don't know. Anything could have happened.
I don't see how y'all think the Sunsetters are still alive when 3 of them are.
They're alive because Kiefer is still entertaining this idea, and Tina is like all 4 because Tina is aligned with Kiefer. So in a sense, all 6 of them, besides Latoya, are still kind of together at this week. Just only this week. I don't know about next week.
Being completely still together.
It's not, but
nominations for me showed that in full. He basically had every opportunity, because if you look at the way the votes went last week, it was the Sunsetters who voted Kiefer out.
Kiefer out, exactly.
And Kiefer is still smart enough and aware enough to know that
To not be emotional.
That's where his people are.
Yep.
And so I think Kiefer is still solid with them. And although I think they're on the short side of the numbers, this is not Survivor. This is not a game that is strictly dictated by numbers. This is a game that is dictated by who wins HOH. And I will take Jed, Tashawn, Beth, and Kiefer over the field in most competitions. Now that's just an opinion, but I will take those 4 against the 7 or whatever other people. I'm a gambler, and I would put the odds on those 4.
Well, it's more like he's dipping in both pools. I mean, he still has Tina and Tara regardless with this decision. You know what I'm saying? So he did the most smartest decision to pull him further in the game because he knows that Tina and Tara understands. So whatever happens with Kyle and Roe or even Austin, like he still has the Sunsetters plus Tina and Tara. And it's that is the majority in any situation at this point. So I don't know. Kiefer right now is doing really well with his HOH, I think.
While the Sunsetters might not be a thing anymore, they still are. Like the idea is still there. That group,
the connections are still there.
I think I'm not saying the alliance is gone, but I think it's on the way out. Like I can see it fizzling out here in the next like couple of weeks, depending on
who wins
and
who's nominated.
I don't think Kiefer, those other 3 are solid. Jed, Ty, and Beth. Jed, Ty, and Beth are really solid. Kiefer, I don't see him turning on those 3 before a significant portion of the other side, in Kiefer's mind. So those 4 seem to be pretty linked together for the foreseeable future for me.
I'm just saying it's 4 now instead of it was 6 because I don't feel like Tina.
That's still a sunset. That's still a thing.
I just if 3 of my alliance members were saying that they wanted to put me up, I don't know how I would feel about that actually being an alliance.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more I could say.
How they try to vote Kiefer out?
No, Jed, Ty, and Beth want to put up Tina.
They do, yeah. Tina and Tara.
And she already burned that bridge.
But she was a part of the Sunsetters.
Yeah, but her part of the Sunsetters like hate drying being a part of the Sunsetters.
She openly left the Sunsetters. Like she
literally just like got up and left.
Y'all.
Never talked to them again. Yeah. So it's like it's not like Sunsetters are breaking apart. No, one left. Like one broke off. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little like No, Kiefer is not like he didn't leave.
Latoya's gone.
Oh, Latoya. Yeah, but it's still an alliance that's happening.
It's not a game of pure numbers. Those 4.
But it is a game of numbers.
It's not. Those 4, if they win every HOH from here on out,
and POVs.
I tell you, if you don't have the numbers in your favor come Thursday, you're going home. That's what I mean.
Not if you're not on the block.
If you're not on the block, then
you're not on the block. It doesn't matter. That's what's
happening with this 4. Then the Sunsetters are not on the block.
It's a game of who wins HOH because that's who gets to pick who's sitting down on Thursday.
I hate the power tricks,
but
guys.
Austin and Victoria are pretty good at comps too. So
they are. And Brayden too.
Ty hasn't won anything. Beth hasn't won anything. Beth has come close to winning anything. So I don't know how you can put her in.
Brayden's been in top 2 for everything. Like top.
Go back
3,
to
top 4.
Go back to our cast assessment video. I'm gonna call my shot like the fucking babe.
Okay.
I did then. Tashawn is winning this game because production wants him to win this game. I said it then.
Production wants him to win.
Hell yeah, production wants him to win. Go back to his opening video to describe himself.
Was he the nice guy?
Yeah.
Is he number 4? Are we about to talk about him?
No.
He is production's pick to win. And so, I mean, it is what it is. And so I think he will. And I think that the competitions, because Big Brother Canada, and the reason I asked you if you had seen the season with Sarah, the one she won, was because at the very end of that season, with like 5 people left, they introduced the biggest twist of all. They basically say the 2 people that are on the block, now you get to pick somebody else to go on the block.
Wow.
It was the
Okay,
most
2 days.
insane power. It was something like that, Nick.
It was just to help
Like,
Sarah. It
it's all-
was just to help. It was just to help Sarah win, I guess.
My
Is that what you're
point.
saying?
Their production is not above.
Doing things to
Very much so. And
change
so all
things
I'm
up.
saying is that y'all are like Jed and Tishon haven't won comps yet. They haven't had any physical endurance comp type stuff yet. It's all been crapshoot.
Dad won.
And I believe it's because they're saving all of that shit for later, when them boys can win them. So
Interesting.
I do believe that
I can see that.
I really do believe that the 4 left of the Sunsetters, if they never lose a HOH between the 4 of them from here on out, or
It's a big gamble though, dude. It's a big, like, that's, if you were to bet money on that, like, I mean, I don't disagree. Like, I would say I would give that like a 20% chance of happening. Because like I don't think Beth will win anything.
Exactly.
And
I think the boys, I get you on the boys, but Beth,
we'll see.
I don't know
We'll
how
see what
you have
happens.
her in,
I
like,
would say
top 4
I
comp.
agree with that. I don't need 4. I'll take
I guess
Jed,
you just need
Tishon,
Kiefer.
and
I mean, Kiefer is
against
more
the
reliable than Ty and Jed at this point. No, but I mean, I was gonna say, if you haven't watched the feeds, like, if any one of the oddballs were to win it this week, it would have been Ty on the block, and Ty was the target. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was what was happening. So that is a good theory, and I hope that maybe the crapshoot game was to design to, like, you know, make sure that didn't happen so easily, right? But Ty is in danger, I think, because of how likable he is and how he still has numbers at the moment, right? So we'll keep an eye on that, because I'm very interested to see if they can do that to make him win, because right now I don't see him winning.
I
He's
do.
finding the purple ball.
For sure.
Finding the purple ball
I
thing.
don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Last thing I want to say about Tina is just statistics.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the last 20 seasons of Survivor and pretty much every season of Big Brother, the oldest player, the person over 40 who tries to play from the bottom, never wins. The only person to ever do that was Denise on Survivor. In her first season, she played
Love
from
Denise.
the bottom and won. But literally any other old player that has tried to do this has not
Denise
won.
the
Jerry
beast.
got pretty close.
Denise the beast. Who?
Jerry from season 10 US.
Yeah, I don't think he would have won. I think he was the one that would not have gotten the votes.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
we'll move
You're
on
so
to
salty about old people.
Number 4. Well, because they play so lazy. Anyway,
It's
Jed
social
is
dynamics.
our number 5. I mean, our number 4, which I think is too high, but
Way too high, guys. Way too
What was
high.
the number?
Actually,
number 4, 5.5. I mean, it's all barely, but
I would say way too high last week, but this week I could see it happening, because like I said earlier in the feed, it's like Ty was sort of like the next target after that. Dismantling the whole Ty and Beth, and then Ty and Jed. I think Jed is slowly creeping up as like a rational player to the other side. So I remember hearing someone talk about it where they were like, Jed's actually pretty like rational, like he's not too, like he makes sense. I don't know how people think that, but
even though Tishon makes more sense than he does.
Tishon makes much more sense, but they're just like trying to make Jed seem better than Ty, because they don't want Ty to stay, you know? So Jed could probably creep in and win some more comms and stay in. I don't know. Especially if all of his alliance members are gone, you know? Maybe he
I think
stays in.
I think he's gonna win some comps, and I'm gonna compare him to someone who's kind of the same stature, kind of the same mental ability, and that's Brendan. Season 12, Rachel's boo thing. Not kind of smart, but not really there. And he's probably going to win some competitions. I just think that if you take him and Ty, who are tied at the hip, he's an even bigger meat shield for Ty. I think if the two of those go up, likability of Ty is going to save him, and Jed goes home.
Yeah, maybe. I think at the moment it would be Ty over Jed to go home,
But
because of everyone knows that how likable he is. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone doesn't want, because right now Ty, Jen, and Beth are not working with anyone else besides like Kiefer. So like it doesn't matter how likable you are, you need to get someone out, and the best shot is the person who is the most likable to win the game.
I mean,
So
shit, keep them in right now, because they're targeting two pieces of furniture, Tina and Tara. Like, why are they targeting them?
I don't know why they're doing that. They wanted to make that the truce happened. I don't know why, but they were like, we want people who are rational voters to be in a jury, and they didn't want Tina and Tara to be in it. I don't know. That was the reasoning for it. It was a really terrible
I mean,
conversation.
I can understand that. I feel like they probably don't know where Tina and Tara lie, and they've kind of been all over the place. So if you know that you could most likely guarantee that somebody's going to vote for you, even if you don't align with them in the game.
Yeah.
But you don't know where the other two, they could go either way. They might be just like easily swayed, and they can tell that in the house, and maybe they don't want a jury swaying their vote away from them.
And Tina just kind of spat in their face too by leaving the Sunsetters the way she did, and kind of just
like and they know it. They know
that would leave a salty taste in my mouth too. But I still, even with the salty taste, I don't think I would take a shot at them because they're not worth it right now at this point.
I do think they'll have to be backdoor. Like you either have to put them both up together, or you have to take a shot at one of them separately and put up two pawns.
Yeah.
Those two are going to be put up together.
Deshaun is our number 3 with a 5.9.
Damn, y'all all like see.
I think Jed and Ty are too high.
My two highest ratings were Tashawn and Jed.
Really?
Apparently, all of you guys like the bossy glossies a little more than me.
I don't like them.
I like them more than Jed and Ty. That's the thing.
I also had the bossy glossies right behind Jed and Ty, so I'm not disagreeing with their.
Well, isn't the bossy glossies with Victoria? You don't like Victoria.
Not anymore. They don't like her.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. True.
But I gave both to Sean and Jed 8 as well.
No, I did too. And I gave Austin and Brendan both a 7.5. So I'm right with you.
Okay.
They're like right
they are strong. Yeah, they're strong.
Yeah.
Austin and Braden, which we'll get to in a second, that's the only pair that I didn't rate the same. Because I had Kyle and Rohan rated the same. I had Jed and Sean rated the same.
They're playing different games. The two of them Austin are definitely playing different games.
But I think Tashawn's in a much better spot than Jed for exactly what Dave said. He's just that much more likable. Everyone does know it, including himself.
Yeah.
He is like, I mean, I was hating on the dude's intro video too, but the fact
is
he is because he was you'll just go watch our cast.
I guess I'll watch it. Yeah.
I couldn't put it any better than I did then, but it's just basically his whole intro video was how likable he is and how he's the nice guy. He said he's a nice guy like 6 times in a minute.
He kind of is, I guess. It's actually getting annoying for me. It's getting annoying for me how nice he can be.
And that's why I thought he was production's favorite, is just the way the videos were painted. But I do like this guy. Other than Kiefer, he's my favorite.
He's a nice guy.
He's my favorite individual.
He actually is a nice guy. Like, unlike, what people think.
And he's pretty.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty.
He's pretty.
Sorry, I comment a lot on who I think is attractive and who I would date on our podcast.
Literally would date everyone.
I think you have to go a little further than to compliment someone now. You can't just say like,
who would you marry? I guess.
Who would you?
No, Matt. Marry nobody.
See, now we know. Now we know Ty is not that cute to him. Or that nice of a person for him.
No, the prettiest person in the world I wouldn't marry because I would never marry anybody.
Oh, that's a good answer.
We're for a different podcast.
Ty just seems.
I like that podcast. I'll be there for that.
Ty seems on point. Ty seems like he understands he seems to understand what the score is, where every person in the house stands roughly. And I think self-awareness and game awareness is probably the single most important trait.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If he can outlast Beth and Jed, I think
then he would,
because if he's away from them, I think he would not get all of Jed's bad ideas, and then he would stand a better chance.
The thing is, if he aligned with Latoya and like that was it, and also kept the Jed thing even more, because remember, like the first episode, they were like, "Oh, let's keep it quiet." They literally like became best friends. I love the next week. But then they were already exposed within the week or two. Like they were already like hanging out all the time. So
it's not undercover.
It's not. It was more like
it was not undercover boys.
It was over the covers. It was literally like
just when people of color work together in these games, when there's only a few of them, if they're working together, people know. So I mean, it's like
There's
Because
five- like,
anytime
there's, like,
anyone
so
wanted
many.
to work with Jeremy on Winners at War, they were like, "Oh, Jeremy and Wendell can't work together. Oh, Jeremy and Natalie can't work together."
Yeah,
So
it's
the
actually
whole-
really it's so annoying. It really is.
That's why you
annoying.
have to have this diverse of a cast.
Yeah,
Keep that from happening.
yeah. Because Braden and Victoria they weren't working with anybody like that was like obvious, right? Besides Austin, I guess, you know.
But Jed and Ty are very similar. They're like a similar type of person, and I feel like
Similar
they
age
could
group.
be like
Yeah.
They're bros.
in a bromance outside of the house as well. So why,
Yeah.
when you're stuck in this house, why are you not going to be attached to somebody that like you just genuinely like and get along with, and you would hang out with in your everyday life?
Right.
You
I
know,
know these two strike me. I hate to be the guy who says like the race thing didn't even pop in my head, even though
yeah.
like, but it didn't because they just seem like
No, they
guys who would get along outside of the house. They just seem like this.
I mean, they knew each other a little bit. Like they already knew each other before this game. Apparently they played a game or something together. I don't know what the story is,
They
but
probably played one of Nick's games. But we just don't know it yet.
I would be
Nick's like,
hyping that up.
Really?
if
So
that
they
was
already
the
knew
case.
who the other one was?
Oh
so
wow.
From what I hear, I
like,
don't think they knew each other. They just were like at the same game one time or something.
yeah, well, Beth like somehow so in the live feeds, like I don't know if it's ever in the episodes, I don't remember, but Beth like told everyone that they're friends, like or that they know each other,
They're
right?
no friends.
Not whatever
Well
she
played,
said.
Beth.
But I think like the other oddballs, they like amped that up. They were like, oh, they knew each other. Like Beth told everyone. Yeah. So it's like it's bad. That's what I'm saying. Ty aligned with the wrong people. You
Because
said
like
what?
if me and Meg ended up in the same Big Brother house, you can fucking believe we'd be working
was
together on the DM.
Literally just about to say that if Fan Guy and I walked into a Big Brother house together, we 100% would be working. But it also, I think, would be difficult to not spend all of our time with the other one.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I
the
could
thing.
be good at that and not spending.
Yeah,
time.
me too. I don't need to like.
I
don't-
would, because you would see we would be the ones creeping out at like 3:30 in the morning to go sit in the backyard.
Bitching about how we don't have any weed. And
Exactly.
we're fucking fiending.
I would join that. I would so join that, that conversation. Oh man. But I
Well,
mean, it
I'd be
is
like,
Big
you
Brother.
can't
You
sleep
gotta,
either. I need to get high.
and then you can sleep, and then you can sleep.
I wanna compare Ty to somebody that even Alex will know, even though he played on Big Brother, and that's Hayden Moss. He's kind of I see similarities. Nice, not as nice as Tyshawn, but a genuinely nice person who's
Smarter, way
athletic
smarter
and
though.
gets along with everybody. So he could win. There's a chance. I don't think he'll get that far just because him being tied with Jed, somebody's going to take a shot at him. They have to.
I
I
still
don't know
think
why.
Ty would be the one to go because of how likable he is.
And that's why I compared him to Hayden, because Hayden was extremely likable to everybody, and they let him get to the end. Given they had the brigade, but everybody loved Hayden. Even his enemies loved him because he was just that nice.
It depends on what point of the game it's at.
Yeah, yeah,
You're both right. I think it's still early enough in the game where likability will matter. I think
right.
people realize that they have this much game left to play. Oh shit, we
It's a
really
long, yeah, it's a long
way
game.
more. We'll keep Tyshawn. Now look, if you're towards the end of the game, there's only 6 people left, or something like that. Yeah, and those two go up. Yeah, you're gonna take a shot at the bigger overall game threat. But I still think it's too early. I'm with Days on this one. I don't think they would pull the trigger on Tyshawn before they'd pull it on Jed. Even if they acted like they would. I think somewhere in the week,
Okay.
Tyshawn's likability
Makes sense.
came out.
Yeah,
Well,
But those
move
two are
on.
probably going up as soon as their side doesn't win.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's not Beth. I wouldn't put Beth. Like I don't need Beth to be on there yet.
Our number 1 and 2 are Braden and Austin. Braden number 1 by far, really. Number 2 is Austin with a 6.3.
Hey.
Braden with a 7.
That's my highest, too.
Braden was also my highest. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't even think he would be on the top. Like if you asked me this last week, I would not have said Braden was the top. But right now, pretty good shot at the moment. He hasn't done much. I mean, he's just playing a really
They haven't done
he's
anything.
D. He's
either
basically
them
D
at
of
that
my
time.
season of like just very social, like
He's best social player. By
Yeah.
far.
It works though. And
It
I
work- no,
didn't
it
think-
works
I think
100%.
he's playing better than I thought he was gonna play during our cast.
me too. Me
Yep.
too.
I disliked him
Yeah,
a
me too.
lot in our cast.
I thought he was gonna get out early. I thought he was gonna be the Julie. Like,
Austin's
thought.
growing on me too.
oh yeah,
I will have to say she's
Yeah.
kind of growing on me. No, and hear me out. I feel like she's playing, based on what I can see, I feel like she's playing a much better game than I originally thought she was going to play too. And I don't see her, at least in what they portray on the show, I don't see her like really getting sucked into a crazy showmance like Beth is in this like throuple situation or whatever, which is what I thought she was immediately going to do, was to
oh
go get
Austin,
a
really?
yeah. And she's not really doing that.
Not at
And
all.
she's won a
Not
couple
at all.
competitions. And I see her involved in strategy conversations. Like, I feel like she's playing better than what I was giving her credit for.
She's smarter than I was giving her credit for. I'll concede
She's
that.
very smart. Yeah.
Way smarter than I gave her credit for. However, for me personally, and I did rate her high. I mean, high-ish. I had her 1 point below what I rated Brayden, which seemed to be the consensus.
Yeah.
But she's pretty good at comps and stuff like that. My issue with her is the same. It's similar to my issue with Victoria. It's that I don't like her. I don't.
Okay, what's the reason? What's
Really
the-
care
I
for
don't find her to
either,
be a
but-
kind. I don't think she is a kind, genuine, good-hearted person. I don't. She's very fakestagram. She's very
She's very face-to-face.
very fake. She just strikes
yeah.
as all facade, and she for me is the least genuine person on this entire cast.
I can agree
Instagram is
with
better
that.
than Tina. Sorry, Vanta.
Fakeagram is better than a lot of people in this
Tina-
cast.
Tina's
Honestly.
authentic. I feel like Tina's at least authentic. to
No,
herself.
honestly,
Like,
I think Tina's the biggest snake in this cast, which is I don't know why Nick hates her so much. That's very entertaining to me to watch in the.
She's
feeds.
not
Like,
entertaining though on the feeds.
she just absorbs and then like.
But
never
it's not because
reveals
she's a snake.
anything.
It's because she plays scared. There's a big difference.
I don't think she's playing scared. I really don't. I think she. Okay, yeah, she is kind of playing scared, but I'm saying like she really does take information and then like. And it absorbs it and it just moves on. Like there's no like I don't know what she's doing, and that's like I'm kind of entertained. Like I'm like, what is she gonna do next? Because she has all this information. She could easily blow up on Tara, and she might even. I think she has no loyalties except for herself. Not even Tara. I don't think she. If Tara was in the same situation with Latoya, she would have went with Latoya 100%. There's no loyalties, so that's why I'm like kind of interested in seeing where she goes. But I don't think Austin's the fakest. I mean, she's close with Brayden, and then she just like stays that way. She didn't like try to distance
That's the
herself
thing they're
because she's-
kind of doing wrong though, is they're literally together.
But it's working
24/7
right now. They're
but at one
creating
point they're
alliances.
gonna be the
Yeah.
main target. It
Of
has
course,
to come at some
of
point.
course.
And I think Brayden would, at least at right now,
Brayden will survive.
unless the Karens come up with a way to make Brayden seem like he's
No, but even
scary
they
and
like
shit.
Brayden.
Yeah, I know for
For
now.
now.
But I think Austin would go over Brayden if they were
Agreed.
together. For
I
me.
think so
So-
too. And that
Brayden,
whole conversation she had with Latoya when Latoya gave her like quote unquote pitch or whatever she wanted to call it.
Yeah,
She was super fake in that conversation.
it was hilarious. Honestly, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, okay, love you, girl.
She's like so brave. Or what did she say? She's like, she said something that made
Love this whole
Latoya
thing.
question
I
it.
love your
Yeah,
little thing.
yeah.
This whole little thing
She's
you
like, my
have, Latoya.
thing?
Latoya's
And she's like,
"Oh."
yeah, your thing. Like,
that's what I'm
hilarious.
talking about.
Hey.
Yeah, no, she is fake, but she's
Nice.
hilarious.
Disgusts me.
Really? I think it's just because she's pretty. That the
I
fakeness
love
even-
pretty girls. I don't know what you're talking. That's like shit. If
Of
anything,
course, but
Days is rubbing off on Fanga.
yeah, no. If anything,
yeah, I'm hearing Days over here. Like,
if anything, I would give her the benefit of the doubt for that most of the time. But the fact that she's pretty and I'm still saying this about her, shit.
interesting. I don't know. I don't see the dislike for her at the moment. Maybe I'm blinded, but I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
think she
don't
is
like
pretty.
her either.
What the hell? is going on?
I don't think she's that attractive.
What?
Two, just bad personality. We've talked about
I
this on
don't
our last
see it.
podcast,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
as far as game wise goes, like what I was saying earlier, like there's two different types of floaters. You have the furniture in the house, and then you have those that soak up information and just kind of rock back and forth between different people. And that's
Yeah.
what Austin and Brayden are doing.
For sure.
It's a very hard strategy to utilize,
accomplish,
but they're
yeah.
doing it pretty good.
Yeah.
And I didn't rate them the same. I rated Braden at 8.5 and Austin a 7. And I did that because, like Nick said, Austin is likely to go over Braden. I dislike Braden at the very beginning, but he's growing on me. Just everything about him. I typically don't like flamboyant men, but he's growing on me.
He's not as bitchy as he was.
Exactly.
I was gonna wait till the next one to get to that. He's not playing that bitch role that his intro video led us to believe
Austin.
that he was gonna play. He is far more likable in that house than he came off in his intro video, because it looked like he was just gonna be a shit starter. And
You remember when he laid out on the couch when he got picked last, and we were all like, he just had to do that. That's just that's his personality. He just takes everything, just, whatever.
Very, very whimsical. Yeah.
Right.
I would say like,
go ahead.
One thing about like queer people, when they're in a room with different people, like their adaptability is very strong. Unless you're someone who's so confident and also so accepted that you go into every room this exact same way. Like for me, like LaToya cannot adapt in the same way that Braden can, because LaToya she is so confident in who she is, she's not going to do it. But Braden may not be the same, and although he might still be flamboyant in the group, he knows that the dynamic is not more favored towards that. Like he probably like internally sees that only Austin would appreciate, so he's only like that when around Austin, and less around with other people like the four.
Really? I see it all the time. Like that's what I like about him. I just feel like that.
No, I'm saying like he dialed it down a little bit. Like he's not exactly the same as his intro video. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows it. He just subtly knows it. That's what I see.
But I also feel like he's unapologetically himself. I don't think he's not being genuine.
Yeah, he's genuine as fuck.
For sure.
I think his intro video was 100%
over the top.
Like that's not normally him. He was just trying to be entertaining for the camera. But when I see him around the house, I'm like, this dude is cool. I wanna gossip with him. Like
I'll say this about Austin. I would rather have coffee with Kyle than with Austin. I feel like I would have more to talk about.
What kind of claim is this? Wow. What is this? This is
I would have more to talk about with Kyle than I would with Austin.
Well, probably.
I agree. I don't really care for Austin either, but I'm not that upset with her gameplay.
No,
I want to punch him in the face. Like it just
Kyle?
very punchable.
Yeah, I don't like Kyle. Like I
fucking hate Kyle. That's why that statement should resonate with how little I like Austin's personality.
It's very baffling that's like you would choose to have coffee with Kyle versus Austin.
She's a better person.
She would just chill. She would just chill. Like she wouldn't do much. Like
Kyle might be a better person than Kyle. But I would have a more interesting conversation with Kyle because I couldn't talk about Louis Vuitton bags and fucking.
I don't think she would just. I don't know.
And the shit that I'm sure makes up the entirety of her life.
She is when she talks, she's very meme-like. Like she says LOL still. I don't know who does that anymore, but it's very funny to watch. I don't think she's basic, dude. She has a really great memory. She's winning constantly. She's not the basic bitch you think she is.
I said she's smart, but her personality.
I just can't really talk to people that talk like this all the time.
I don't even think she talks like that. I don't know. I guess I don't see the same.
It's incredibly annoying, honestly.
I'd rather talk to her than Victoria.
Me too.
Okay. At least we agree on that because I can't.
I would talk to Victoria over Austin for sure.
I can't. I know someone in my real life that's very similar to Victoria. I just cannot. I cannot do it. I appreciate them existing in this world, but I cannot talk to them for long. I can't. I'll be like, Alex, I don't understand. Yeah.
I appreciate your existence, Victoria.
But I can't.
I don't like anything else about you.
Don't be near me.
One last thing I'll say about Braden is, other than Messy Victoria, I've heard nobody else throw out his name. So he's the one person that
he literally.
And she didn't even do it like.
Yeah, she did.
She did it to like.
Well, she's done it. I don't know. She throws out everyone's name.
She says everybody, and that's gonna bite her in the ass, like for sure. I don't know how Kiefer is just like, I'm willing to work with it because like it's not something to work with, honestly, but she's somehow doing it. So I give her props for that. She made a huge, crazy move, and it's still safe right now. No repercussions.
Yeah. But I'm gonna call Braden to win. I I've changed my Reddit flair to Braden from Tara. So that is officially my pick.
You thought
So
Tara was going to
the
win?
season.
You thought when did you think Tara was gonna win?
Off of her assessment. I like moms, okay? I was really rooting for her.
Well, no, her assessment. I did see a video of her, and I think she was very like intent to win. So I did like her vibe then, but not anymore.
She came off as a positive ray of
Yeah, she did.
sunshine, and she is
She
the
did.
fucking
Christmas.
opposite.
She's made pessimistic. Like she's very pessimistic whenever a new HOH is there, right? And she's also like low key homophobic and racist in like different scenarios. And I'm just like,
Oh, really?
So
yeah, like
basically,
in the
she's-
feast, like
I
she
didn't
was
see
saying.
this. I didn't see this happen.
So okay, so I'll say this: like she was saying how like she was expecting Brayden to love her a lot because all the gays love her, and I'm just like, that's literally not a thing. Like, and you might think it is a thing, but not everyone has to love you if they're gay. Like that's just not a thing that's possible.
And
right?
she keeps saying that Tashawn is intimidating and shit.
Yeah,
even though
and
he's
aggressive.
one of the coolest guys in the house.
Yeah.
The running
Look,
joke is that
I know.
Ty and Jed are very aggressive to every like they're the
Not
least aggressive.
Rowan and Kyle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially Kyle, the way he's so condescending too. Like Rohan's like a little more chill and calm, and he's a little weird in the way he explains things. But Kyle is just like petty and like
He's a schmuck.
he's saying he's tall and he's just like I don't know. That's intimidating. How is that not intimidating? Like I don't get it. It's so weirdly, yeah.
So she's full of the microaggressions and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
Her and Tina. That's why Nick
Alright.
doesn't like them a lot. Like
If you all were in the
Wow.
house, which one of these people would be like your like partner?
number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this cast is so messy that I don't even know.
I like Ty and Braden. Like those seem like two that I would just
Only
hang
pick
out
one.
with.
There are two different alliances.
Yeah, they're two in like complete different places right now. I would.
Mm,
Would have aligned with Josh.
Kiefer 100%.
You would align with
Me too,
Josh?
for sure. 100% Kiefer.
Oh yeah, Fenton guy would. Yeah, that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Me and Josh could have caused some fucking trouble in the house with all these dumb people.
Yeah,
I feel like Nick
see
and Josh would be
you-
so
I see
sassy
you
together.
aligning
I mean,
with
Josh is
that.
already sassy, but Nick and Josh would just be hell for everyone else.
the
um,
lone wolves, the wolf pack of
Honestly, funny
Honestly,
enough, I
Alex,
might.
see you with Kyle and Rohan.
No, I don't want to be with Kyle and
I
Rohan.
see you there.
Why do you see me there? I would
don't
not
know.
play that.
I don't see you
high
with anybody
profile.
else. Maybe
I would not be that
Jed.
high profile.
Alex
Honestly,
doesn't like
honestly-
number ones.
You said what?
I said Alex doesn't
Yeah,
like
I
number
don't.
ones.
I'm my number one, dude. No, I'm kidding. If I honestly, I actually would pick Victoria because I
could
feel like
never.
she would just do all the work, and I'm just like, all right, like you do
Yeah.
you. Like,
I feel like
go
I'd
ahead.
be really cool with Victoria, but Kiefer would definitely be my number one. But Victoria would think that she was mine.
Yeah, I would say like my number one, but Victoria would think she's my number one.
I would not be able to hide my dislike for
Me either. Well, I could
I could
actually.
hide
I
it.
might.
I could hide it. I could hide it.
I would
could
be
fight it.
terrorizing Tina though.
I've done it. I've done it already. Like,
like Victoria would walk into the room and I'd be like, "Oh, gotta go to the bathroom." But you know when that
love you, girl. Love you, girl.
when that happens
We'll talk
every
later.
day,
she is a bit much.
This cast is a mess.
It is
I love
a
it.
mess.
I really do love it.
I like it though because they are
No, it's
playing. And
it's
it's
also
it's
unpredictable.
hard to
It's
say that
actually
about most
unpredictable.
seasons.
It really, yeah.
I
Like the
said
Josh.
that to my husband today. Was like, I was like, it's kind of all over the place and da da da. But I like that they're all playing. I said they're all playing really hard, kind of
Different
in my
games.
eyes.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
like that they're playing, as opposed to Big Brother US, where they don't play.
they just sit around.
Yeah, the last two seasons especially just rough.
Yeah.
That's so.
Hey, but I don't
that's
think
so
you could blame it all on
gross.
age, Nick. I'm just gonna say that. It's like
Oh, I'm blaming it all on Age on Tina. Sorry, friend guy.
'cause
Oh,
some older
are they
cats-
all older? Is that what's happening? What?
Tina's old.
No, I was just saying that on the podcast really to piss off Young because I know he was so gung ho anti Instagram models, and then we got Tina and Tara out here just being terrible.
It's like I said, 3%, if that, 1% of the population has a 6-pack, but 5 out of the 7 guys cast do.
That's why people like Dazed Watch.
Like,
I did not expect that comment. That was so good. Oh my god. Dave's like
Sorry.
he can't even Repeat that.
I'm the punching bag of the podcast.
You are not.
Oh,
Zach, you
no.
love it.
It usually comes from Meg, so it's weird coming from
Interesting.
Nick.
It's weird
and-
coming from
and
Nick.
Vanga.
Yeah.
I
Nick
thought that was
usually
that was a good comment. I thought it was good timing.
Guess I gotta get a 6-pack and go on that show now.
I already told Nick
Uh,
I'm when I do my audition tape, I am painting.
I'm rooting for that. I really am. I want.
And
that
you're
to
gonna
be
see
in
like
the
on TV
intro.
when they're introducing me, I'm gonna be sitting there with a bunch of like black looking football lines on my stomach because I have a 6-pack. Be like, this is what y'all cast for.
This is what you want.
Do the
This is what you're
roll,
looking for.
where my body
Oh
rolls.
my god,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
that would be
They-
great. Yeah.
I have a 6-pack.
Well, that was a hearty debate. Do you have any final thoughts?
Anyone can win it. Literally
Yeah.
anyone can win it. I
Anyone's
guess
game.
Nick doesn't think Tara could, but I still see her winning. Possibly. Anyone could.
I
do it.
don't see Tara winning.
It's possible in this cast and this gameplay. Anything's possible.
Yeah, this is a really unpredictable season.
Yeah. The Josh vote was
so
actually
volatile.
very close. You said what?
They're all so volatile.
And they're
all
also
just
dumb.
so
They're all so dumb, but like they're running in circles.
That's why I think
thinking
they're all
smart.
recruits because nobody really understands the game. I don't think.
Well, I don't know if that's
I mean,
true
that's-
though. I feel like they are fans, but like
A few of them.
maybe I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
they
if
just
they
like,
if they had watched the show, they would know that a majority alliance makes it to the end, and that's what you would end up with. So be grateful, Nick.
I am grateful that they're messy casts.
But that's why Nick said the game might be broken to begin with, is because the formula is pretty easy. You get
Yeah, and the fact that Austin and Braden, who have done nothing, are our two top
is
people,
the
just
top
says a
people.
lot.
But I mean, I like that. I don't like that Big Brother has a formula. Like I think.
I think that is a
that's
formula.
dumb.
Do nothing or get a big alliance that you don't have to.
No,
do
I'm
anything.
saying like the normal way to win is to like be in a big like why that's boring. Like if you want to shake things up, do what Victoria did, do what Austin and Braden are doing. Like they're assessing how the cast is. They know they're messy, so they're like, I'm not gonna be messy with them, and now they're in the top.
Are Braden and Austin doing that, or are they just hanging out?
I mean, I do think they are floating.
I think
but they do hang
they
out
are
a lot.
definitely they're hanging out, but they're also like they know that that's a good move at the moment, especially now, like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. They're like,
It's Braden's
this is
social.
definitely, yeah. I don't know if it's Austin's social game. I think Austin's just chilling more so, but she is talking game, and Braden is playing that hard. Like he's so innocent in this game right now. There's no blood.
And he
on his
talks to
hands at all.
everybody at least. where
Everyone.
Everybody in this
Everyone
house
likes him.
doesn't do that.
Not one person hates him. He's more likable than Ty right now, I think.
He's too nice, Alex. Sorry.
Who is? Oh, Ty. Whatever. I think he's more likable than Ty. Could be wrong.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us for this long debate that we had.
It's a pleasure.
A lot of disagreements. I like that on podcasts
Very
because usually I
fun.
feel like everybody agrees on things.
Yeah,
We were
this,
he-
this
yeah, we were
felt like a
heated.
game.
This was
This
great.
felt like a game instead of a discussion. Jeez.
We got to vote now.
We had a new person's point of
I
view.
vote for Nick. Yeah, true. I'm voting Nick out, by the way. This is my vote.
That guy won't vote me out.
Thank
I
God.
wouldn't put you out, man.
I will.
I'm just kidding.
None of
Thank you,
the rest of
Days.
us
Let's
know how
go.
to record these
Meg, you're the
things.
swing vote.
Meg, you're
Meg,
swing
if you want to
vote.
play Online Isolation 3, you can't vote me out. So.
I said
Do
we
it.
can't vote you
Do
out
it.
because none of us know how to record these things.
Oh yeah, true. That's actually very true. I lost the flip. Sorry, Days. I dragged you down.
Anyway,
I couldn't play that game.
Yeah, I don't even know what that game is yet. I don't really know it.
that's all I got for us this week. I'll see everybody